Thank you for tuning in tonight. It is Maximize Your Life with Pastor Marcus. It is good to see you, my TGM family, my Bible study. It's good to see you, my guys who watch and tune in. You can watch this on your way to work. It's a great video. You can put your audio in and just let it play. This is Maximize Your Life. What we do here is I take biblical principles, whether stated directly or indirectly, and I teach how to apply them in your everyday life. So it's not just a Bible, it is a guide to a happy, healthy, and fulfilling life. And so what I try to do, I do my best to do, is I don't never state anything that is not useful or applicable to life. And so tonight, our lesson is coming from Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1, 2, and 3. My Bible does read a little bit different. I'm going to read it. You can follow along or you can listen along. Make sure you pay attention for the logo. You are going to start seeing the logo around Houston, around on Facebook, on YouTube. You're going to start seeing it. So if you see it and you like the message, share it. Don't forget to like our page. All right, we go right into the lesson. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1, 2, and 3. Keep in mind, this is after Hebrews 11, the chapter of faith. Hebrews 11 and 1, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11 and 6, without faith it's impossible to please God. He that cometh to him must believe that he is, and he is a reward of them that diligently seek him. This is the chapter after that. Therefore, linking back to chapter 12, therefore, since we have so great a cloud of witnesses, a group of people surrounding us, let us also lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily, my book says, entangles us. I love that. And let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Verse 2, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, where King James says finisher, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand and throne of God. For consider him who had endured such hostility by sinners. My Bible does read different. My Bible says hostility by sinners against himself, so that you do not grow weary in your minds and lose heart. And so the topic tonight, I want to impress on all our minds. I want you to say this: I gotta keep going.
I gotta keep going.
Say it again: I gotta keep going. You know, it's sometimes I don't know about you guys, but me, just because I'm Pastor Marcus, that does not mean I don't run into things that make me want to stop sometimes. And I'm sure all of us in here can definitely attest to the fact that sometimes stuff gets hard. You know what? One of the things that I really found and I always share this, because when I first came into the knowledge of Christ, I thought I was tripping. I thought I was losing my mind because it seemed like I was the only one that struggled. It seemed like I was the only one that was having issues. It seemed like I was the only one that was really struggling with some stuff. You know, when you first come into Christ and you want to live right? You want to do your best, right? So you go that first day and you say, all right, God, I'm going to do it your way. The second day, all right, God, I'm going to do it your way. By day 3 or day 4, if you were smoking weed before you came to Christ, but by day 3 or by 4, you start running into them same old, If you were sexual before, you start running into them same, come on, be real. You want to please God, but then at the same time, it gets hard. And here's a battle. First off, you have a battle with you, right? You have a battle with you. You have the inner battle. Before you go outside, you got to tell yourself, I want to do right. I want to live right. I want to be right, right? This is the battle with me inside. Now, when I go outside the house, not only am I battling me, but now I'm battling all the outside things. Here's the understanding. The understanding is that being a Christian is not easy.
That's right.
And here's the thing. The thing is that so many times we go to church and I felt so out of place because everybody else made Christianity look easy. They made it look like they were dealing with things so easy. They didn't have struggles like I did. They didn't want to do things that were not like God. It made me feel. Have y'all ever had that experience? You go to a church and it seems like their disposition is so judgmental. because you're just being who and what you really are. And that is Christianity. It's hard to do right when everybody else is doing you wrong. It's hard. Yes, yes, yes. See, don't even, oh Lord, don't even go to the judgmental church folk, man. Don't even go to the judgmental church folk. It is hard. And here's what Hebrews is about. And that's a whole nother topic. How you go to church. Have you ever been in that experience where you go to church and you want to confess your sins to somebody because you want somebody to be able to relate and tell you it's possible to overcome that. It's possible, where you are, God is not going to kill you for having a struggle. You want somebody that's going, that's going to relate with you, right? And help you come out of what you're in and help you deal with it, help you to get better. But then you run into church people like you didn't know who they were before they got saved. And now they're looking at you like you crazy and you like, come on, bro. Like, I need somebody that's going to help me through this, not judge me, right? Not criticize me. And so sometimes, and this goes right back to the fact that being a Christian is hard. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said I love Jesus with all my heart. But being a Christian is hard sometimes. It's hard to say what's right when everybody else is saying what's wrong to you. It's hard to stand on what's right when ain't nobody else standing on what's. It takes some courage to speak right when ain't nobody else speaking right. It takes some courage. It takes somebody. I mean, it takes a whole lot to do right when everybody is doing wrong, and everybody can give you the excuse to do wrong. It is so hard to be a Christian. And here's Hebrews. He writes to the Hebrews because they were struggling in their Christianity. And here's what I want to share with you tonight. First off, before we even touch the lesson about staying strong, about keeping going, about being enduring, I want you to know that God is not going to kill you for having a struggle. God is not going to destroy you for having a struggle. I want to encourage you tonight because somebody will tell you that because you came into Christ, everything is supposed to happen just like that. There is nobody in the Bible that came into it just like that. There is a period of Jesus' life where we don't even see. I can't say that he did or didn't, but the understanding is that when God calls you, he does not call you for where you are. Everywhere, there is nobody in the Bible that God did not have to work with and work through some stuff. So for those of you that are having struggles as a Christian, tonight I want to encourage you to what? Keep going. Say that to yourself. Say, I got to keep going. I got some struggles, but I got to keep going. I get frustrated. Oh, God. But I got to keep. I want to slap somebody sometimes. I do. But I can't do it. I got to keep going. Say that after me. Say, I got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. That is your encouragement for tonight. God is not going to kill you for having a struggle. He writes to the Hebrews because they were struggling in their Christianity. When you are surrounded by a bunch of wrong and you are standing trying to do what's right, it is hard. So let me encourage you. Do not let go. You got to keep going tonight. He writes to them now. This is what he does. He highlights the chapter of faith to give encouragement. What it's saying is you are not the only one that had to deal with the struggle that you are dealing with. And he highlights faith. And I love that he highlights faith because I say it this way. For those of you who do not have something to believe in, it is going to be difficult for you to overcome obstacles. I say that because there is no way for you to overcome on your way when you don't know where you're going. It is very difficult for a life that does not have a heading to be able to overcome with some sense and have an understanding. You see what I'm saying? It's easier for me to overcome trials and obstacles when I know my destination. But when you have no destination, what's the point of dealing with trials? What's the point of overcoming? And so he highlights faith because what God has to do for me is if you don't know your purpose tonight, if you don't know what God has put you on earth to do, if you don't know it yet, here's the thing. The first thing that he wants you to know is faith. Here's the understanding of faith. If I could just take a little sidebar right quick. The first thing that we have to do is believe in the resurrection, right? Believe in the resurrection. Why is it important that you believe in the resurrection? Because what it's designed to do, it is designed to inspire your faith. I want you to understand that. What it's saying is before you come into the knowledge of God, the first thing I want you to understand about God is that God can do impossible things. Things that you thought were impossible, God can do impossible things. So he highlights faith. What does God do with Noah? He gives Noah a purpose. Before Noah sees it, he has to believe it enough to move on. He does the same thing with Abraham. Before Abraham sees it, he has to believe it enough to move on it. He highlights in chapter 11, he highlights the people of faith because he wants us to know there have been people that have struggled like you, but their faith has brought them through it. Tonight, I want to ask you a question. What do you believe? And if you don't believe nothing, my question to you tonight is, can you believe? Can you believe that where you are is not where you're going to stay? Can you have faith enough in God that whatever you're dealing with right now, you're not going to always be dealing with it? Can you believe tonight that God is able to take you from where you are to where he wants you to be? Can you have faith tonight? That's the question. He says, therefore, looking back at all of those people who overcame because of their faith, I want you to understand that there are people that are rooting for you. These people understand how hard it is. They understand what it's like to try to serve a right God in the wrong world. They understand what it's like to have the promise but not a manifestation, but they made it through. How do we overcome the world? This is what Jesus said. Even our faith. It is the belief that keeps you going. It is not what you see. I want us to get this tonight. Whatever you're looking at in your situation at home, when you leave and when you log off tonight, whatever it is that you're looking at in your life cannot be dictated by what you see. It has to be dictated by what you believe. If you only live by what you see, you will always be depressed. You will always be sad. You will always be frustrated. I want us to get this tonight because if you do not have faith, it is very impossible for you to overcome your challenges. You got to believe. Say that, I got to believe. You've got to believe. Why? Because you're going to face challenges. You're going to face setbacks. You're going to face adverse circumstances. And if you do not have faith, something down inside of you that's saying, God can pull me through this. God can get me through this. But if God be for me, who can be against me? I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. If you do not have the faith, the adverse circumstances will always make you quit. I want you to understand that because somewhere along the way, somebody told us that life was supposed to be easy. Somebody told us that things were supposed to come without struggle, without a challenge. I want you to know tonight, if you are not ready for the challenge, you better get ready. There is nothing that's going to happen. And I say this without any remorse or regard. There is nothing significant that is going to happen in your life without struggle. You are going to have challenges whether you're a Christian or not. You are going to have setbacks whether you're saved or not. You are going to have adverse circumstances whether you believe in God or not. The understanding is you have to have enough faith not to be moved by what you see, but by what you believe. Paul says it this way: we walk by faith, not by why? Because what you see is going to always tell you what it looks like. But you have got to understand, we are not moved by what we see. We are moved by what we believe. My question tonight is, can you believe? Can you believe that God can do something as impossible as raise Jesus from the dead? Because if you can believe that, you have enough faith to pull you forward. For everybody that's having a rough week, I want to encourage you to keep going because God has enough power. I feel that tonight. God has enough power to pull you through if you can believe. Where's your faith tonight? Where is your faith? He encourages us and let us know the obstacles that we face can be overcome if you can keep the faith. If you can keep the faith, you can overcome it. I want you to put something in your mind tonight that you're struggling with, that you're wrestling with, that you're battling with. Something that seems impossible. And I want to tell you tonight, and I'm not just saying this, there have been some giants in my life. Oh my God. There have been some things that I have had to overcome in my life. And if I did not believe that they were going to be overcome, I would still be sitting back there on the pity pot. I would still be sad. I would still be depressed, thinking and feeling like my life was never going to change. But something down inside me had to turn on. What was that? kept my faith, my belief in God. I had challenges, but I had to overcome. Keep going. It highlights faith because Christians were struggling, and it is difficult. It is difficult to live right in a wrong world. If you want to get to the finish line, this is what he says. He says, we're gonna go ahead and roll to the chapter because I don't want to take up too much time. Let us lay aside, God, every weight and the sin. Here it is. Here it is. The understanding is this. If you have faith and if you believe in God to get you anywhere from point A to point B, if you believe God to get you from point C to point D or wherever you may be in your life, there is going to be something that you are going to have to leave behind. I want you to understand this. I want you to understand this. A lot of the times people don't make it to the promise because they're not ready to let go of where they are. I want you to understand that. People do not make it. It's not because they don't have the intellect. It's not because they don't have the faith. They don't have enough faith to trust God to leave what's not good for them where it is. I like the way he puts it. He says, every weight and the sin. That is a distinction between two different things. Here, let me clear it up for you. Some things that we do or hang on to, it may not necessarily be a sin, but it could be a weight. What do you mean, Brother Marcus? Your attitude. May not necessarily be a sin, but it is a weight. It prevents you from going as high as you could go. Having a bad attitude prevents you from going as high as you can go. A dirty mouth. What is a curse word? That's in the English language, right? Some people don't know how to use their mouth. They don't know how to communicate. That's not necessarily a sin, but it is a weight that can prevent you from, that can prevent you. That is a weight. Something that stops you from going as high as you could go. It may not necessarily be a sin, but it could be a weight. Here's another weight. This is one of my weights. The liquor problem. The habits that we have hooked up on us, the weed smoking, the drinking. Here's the understanding. The understanding is that everything has its proper place. I want us to get that tonight, that everything has its proper place. And maybe it's not necessarily a sin, but you've got to really be able to correctly evaluate. Am I spending my productive time drinking, or am I spending my productive time being productive? Because if you're not, that could potentially be one of the weights that's holding you down. How you manage your time. Listen, laziness, oh God, may not necessarily be a sin, but it is a way. It's one of those things where you have to, I know this is me. I have to constantly battle with myself about being productive because the bed is so comfortable. Have y'all, I know I need to study Jesus. I know God. I need to study my Bible. I do. But the bed is so comfortable. These covers are so soft. It's so warm under here. You got to battle yourself to be better for yourself. You got to battle laziness, not necessarily a sin. Come on, it's a weight. It's a weight. It's one of those things that'll hold you in place and keep you from being all that you can be. He says, lay aside every weight and the sin. Now, we ain't got to talk too much on the sin because we already know. We already know those sins. There are some things, and I'm going to just be real. There are some things that when you came into the knowledge of God, you dropped it off real quick. The weed, I quit. I quit it. I let it go. Boom, I'm done. Yes. The liquor, oh, hold me, Jesus. Come on, be real. Let's be real. Understand that there are some things that God is going to have to love you through, but you have got to decide. You just got to let it go. You just got to decide. The lust, there's the lust. Come on, the lust. You just got to decide. Ooh, Jesus, you know what? For everybody that's celibate for you tonight, God bless you. It is the most difficult thing to do. To want to do something that you really, come on, let's and lay aside every weight. And what if God want to bless you, but your body is not ready? Come on now. What if God want to bless you, but you don't know how to control yourself? What if God want to take you somewhere? What if he want to elevate you, but your mouth not ready? You too lazy. You don't have a good enough work ethic. God want to give you the job. God want to bless you with the promotion, but you lazy. Come on. How can you get to the next level with a bad work ethic? You know what God had to do to me? God had to get me in routine before he elevated me. And that's how he got to do some of us. He got to constantly, yes, you do have to, yes, you got to practice. Yes, you got to practice. Yes, you got to practice. You got to get up. Yeah, you got to get up. It annoyed me so much so to the point until I got to where he was trying to get me to go. And then I understood, wow, you were building my work ethic.
Amen.
I was lazy. Come on. Lay aside every weight and the sin. God can't take you to the next level if your work ethic is not ready. We are called as Christians. This is what the word says, not slothful in business. This ain't got nothing to do with spirit. This ain't got nothing to do with church. This has everything to do with practicality. How good are you at going to work? How diligent are you at doing your job? Come on. We are called to be Christians on every single level. And I want us to get it that God cannot bless you if you do not understand some of your habits are going to probably have to change. He says, lay aside every weight and the sin. What is holding you back? Tonight we talking about keep going. You can't keep going if you holding on to something that's holding you in place. You just can't do it. I tried to do it. I tried to. It will not. You will not keep going. I'm gonna tell you why. Because whatever the weight is going to drag you down. You cannot keep going as long as you holding on to the weight. I want you to get that tonight. You cannot keep going if you keep holding on to the weight. Unforgiveness is one of those weights that hold you in place because you're mad at somebody, don't know how to let it go. We have got to learn to lay aside every weight. Let go of any and everything that hinders and distracts your forward progress. I'm going to say that again. Let go of anything, and I'm going to include anybody that hinders or distracts your forward progress. Let go of anything and anybody that distracts or hinders your forward progress. You got to be ready to do that. Sometimes you won't reach your level of success because you're trying to drag people that are not meant to be successful. Matter of fact, some people just don't want to be successful, that you're trying to drag to your level of success. You got to let go. Sometimes people don't understand where God is trying to take you, so they only end up being more of a distraction, more of a hindrance, more of a deterrence. Some people, they just got mess on their mind. You don't need to have your mind filled with mess when you're trying to get somewhere. I want you to understand that we got to be ready to let some things go and let some people go. We don't emphasize, we don't emphasize that here's what it says. Everybody say, come as you are, come as you are. Yes, come as you are. But what we don't emphasize is that you cannot stay as you come. You can go to church for 20 years and stay the same.
That's right.
You can't walk with God for 2 years and stay the same. Or else something in your life is going to be going haywire because God is going to force you to grow. He wants you to be the best version of you that you can be. I want you to understand that the God that we serve is not here to patty cake you and pat you on the back just because you can put together a suit on Sunday morning. No. Is your character gotten any better? Has your mouth gotten any better? Has your patience gotten any better? If you've been going to church for 5 years, where's your level of patience at? It should be a little bit better if you've been walking with God. And I want you to understand something. What God will do sometimes is when you do not grow, he will put something in your life to make you grow, to force you to grow. He wants you to be the best that you can be. Say, I got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. All right. It's going to be necessary to let some things go. Here's the thing. He says, looking unto Jesus. I want to talk for about, my time is slipping, boy. My time is slipping. All right, here. You know what? I ain't gonna go too far. He says, looking unto Jesus, lay aside every weight and the sin. Looking unto Jesus. I want us to understand something about our focus. I want us to understand something about our focus. It's easy to lay aside some things when you got your mind focused. It's easy to lay aside some things when you got your mind focused. When you don't got your mind focused, you know what God has to do? God will prune you. You know what pruning means? Pruning is taking a knife and cutting some things that may not need to be, that's keeping you distracted. He'll cut some people. You know what? Oh God, look, man. You know this is what God had to do to me. He had the shears, right? The shears didn't get it. He had to get the butcher knife and cut some people and cut some. Look, he didn't just cut things off away from me. He cut some stuff off of me. See, I want you to understand something. I want us to get it. Because when it comes to, and he uses the terminology of pruning fruit, John chapter 15, how the vine dresser goes through the vine and what he does with the vine. Now look, you can be bearing fruit, but he wants you to go from bearing little fruit to much fruit. And sometimes we have things that are blocking our growth, blocking our progress. We can't focus because we have too many things hooked on and hooked on around on us. And so what God has to come and do, he has to prune us. He has to prune us. And I want you to know something about pruning. Pruning is not a sweet process. It is not. Imagine this. Here's what he says, and I'm gonna use this. And we at 25 minutes. I can't even go. I ain't gonna deal with the. But look. This is what he said to the children of Israel. He says to Abraham, "You guys are in the covenant, but here's what you got to do. You got to circumcise yourself. Picture that. You got to cut off a piece of your body, yourself. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. You think that feel good? And I want you to understand something. When you don't do it, and it's time for you to grow, God will allow people to hurt you so you can let them go. Yeah, God will allow people. I'm telling you, God will allow things to cut you so that you let it go. God will allow some things in your life. I had to understand. And we're talking about the weights. I was not good with my spending habits. And so the only way that I could be pastor is if I was good with money. Right? So here's what God did. God had to let me deal with the pain of being broke. When I say broke, wish sandwiches. Get 2 pieces of bread and wish you had some meat to go up on it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You got noodles and sausage. Sometimes you can't get the sausage, so you just got to get noodles and noodles. Yeah, and hot sauce to make them. Yeah, come on. He allowed me because he wanted to prune a bad habit off of me. He had to let me experience the pruning process, which is, Marcus, you got to be broke. And then like, God, I do pay my tithes. I do give the way I'm supposed to do. He said, but you don't manage what you, come on. See, sometimes we want God to do some stuff for us. We want God to elevate us. I was sitting there praying, God bless my finances. God, give me a bigger financial blessing. I'm praying. But listen, he ain't going to bless you with more if you can't manage what you already got. And he needed me to understand I had to lay aside an immature practice that I had in order for me to get to my next. Come on, you got to say, I got to keep going. Yes, it's going to hurt, but I got to keep going. I got to lay some stuff aside, but I got to keep going. I got to lay some people aside. I got to keep going. I got to change some habits. Oh, Jesus. But I got to keep going. I got to do some different stuff, but you got to keep going. I'm going to tell you why you got to keep going. Before we close, we 27 minutes. The reason why you got to make up in your mind to keep going is because there are some things that God want to do in your life. God is going to show you out to the world, but I want you to understand something. You got to keep going to the point where you want it more. Look, I like Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas, he said this. When you want to be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. I'm going to give you an analogy, and I'm going to close with this. This is Eric Thomas's analogy, but I really love it. I love Eric Thomas. This is what he said. He said a young man went to a very rich and wealthy man, very successful man. He goes to the man. He said, man, how did you become so successful, man? Teach me, show me, train me. He said, come tomorrow to the beach. I'll train you, show you how to be successful. He's like, wait a minute. I don't want to go swimming, man. I want to go. I want to be successful. This is Eric Thomas version. He said, yeah, come to the beach tomorrow. I'm gonna show you how to be successful. He said, all right. So he shows up 7 o'clock in the morning with a suit on. The old man got on his shorts. Say, you want to be successful? He said, yeah. He take him out to the water. So he got there in the water. This boy got on the whole suit. And man, I can't get in no beach road. Do you want to be successful? He said, yeah. All right. So he go step out there. And the water up to his waist. Come on, let's go a little bit further. Let's go a little bit further. Look, son, I ain't got time to play with you. You're supposed to be showing me how to be successful. Do you want to be successful? He said, yeah. Come on. So they get all the way in. They up to here now. So he go up to the old man. The old man said, come here. Say, all right. He come to him. He pushes his head under the water. He hold him under there. Come on. Seconds go by. Come on. I want you to walk with me. Seconds go by. He under there. Seconds go by. Seconds go by. Seconds go by. He hold him down. He hold him down. He hold him down. He hold him down. Right before he about to lose consciousness, he lift his head back up. They're like, man, what is wrong with you, old man? What is wrong? He said, when you was down, what is the only thing that you could think about? Breathing. He said, when you want to be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And this is the thing. The thing is while his head was underwater, he wasn't thinking about money. He wasn't thinking about women. He wasn't thinking about friends. He wasn't thinking about getting high, smoking weed. He was only thinking about breathing. And this is the problem with some of us. Some of us, we want something from God, but we are not willing to lay aside the stuff that we don't. You focus on the wrong thing. If you was to put your mind and put your focus on the thing that it is that you really believe in God for, you'll be surprised at things that you'll be able to overcome. You'll be surprised at the things you'll be able to take on and handle. Surprised at the ways that you'll be able to grow yourself. Do you realize we come into the world as babies that just know how to suck? That's it. You learn and adapt to everything else. But when you get grown, we get lazy. We get trifling. We get distracted. And then we blame God for our lives not being well. Let us say, I got to keep going. All right, tonight we had 30 minutes. Man, I got a whole lot more, but we're going to come back to that next week. Thank you for tuning in. You got to keep going, man. Your blessing is on the other side, but you got to lay some stuff down. You got to lay some people down, and you got to change some habits, but you will get there. It is possible. Look, say this after me. Say, I got to keep going.
I got to keep going.
Amen. With that, if this blessed you on our channel, please share and tell somebody about it. Tell somebody to go watch it. It's Maximize Your Life. This is episode number 20. I guarantee the other ones are going to bless you. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter at _God Movement. On Facebook, our page is The God Movement. Don't forget to like us. Our channel on YouTube is TGM Television. We post daily motivational content every single day. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _Minister Marcus. I do inspirational quotes every single day. We upload a new Maximize Your Life every single Friday. Go to our website. It's www.thegodmovement.com. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, my Facebook Live crew. Thank you, my TGM Bible Study family. We will see you on the next time. Amen.